As the darkness began to descend upon the eerie forest, a sense of unease settled deep within my bones. I found myself surrounded by towering trees that seemed to whisper secrets of the unknown. With each passing moment, my worry grew, as if the very essence of the forest itself was conspiring against my peaceful camping trip. It all started innocently enough. A group of friends and I had chosen this secluded spot for a weekend getaway, seeking solace amidst nature's beauty. Little did we know that our adventure would soon take a spine-chilling turn. As the sun dipped below the horizon, leaving only a dim glow in its wake, we kindled a fire to ward off the encroaching darkness. The flickering flames provided some measure of comfort, but they also cast eerie shadows that danced against the backdrop of the surrounding trees. It was as if the forest was alive, watching every move we made. As the night wore on, a chilling breeze rustled the leaves, sending shivers down our spines. The once familiar sounds of nature became distorted, morphing into haunting whispers that echoed through the woods. Anxiety gripped us as we huddled together, seeking safety in numbers. Then, out of nowhere, we heard a blood-curdling scream pierce through the night. It was a sound that sent chills down our spines, freezing us in terror. Panic consumed us, and we frantically searched for the source of the scream, our hearts pounding in our chests. Our search led us deeper into the heart of the forest, where the trees seemed to draw closer, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The air grew thick with an otherworldly presence, and a sense of impending doom settled upon us. It was as if the forest itself had turned against us, its once serene beauty transforming into a nightmare. With every step, we stumbled upon strange symbols etched into the trees and eerie remnants of previous campers. The tension was palpable, and our worried whispers grew louder, desperate for reassurance that we were not alone. Suddenly, a piercing howl cut through the silence, causing us to freeze in our tracks. The sound seemed to come from all directions, disorienting us and fueling our fear. Shadows danced around us, their movements becoming more menacing with each passing moment. We knew we had to escape, to find our way back to the safety of civilization, but the forest had other plans. It seemed to conspire against us, leading us in circles, confusing our senses and toying with our minds. Time stretched on, each minute feeling like an eternity. Exhausted and petrified, we stumbled upon a clearing bathed in moonlight. In the distance, we spotted the flickering lights of a nearby town. A surge of hope washed over us, and we ran with all our might, desperate to escape the clutches of the forest that had nearly consumed us. As we reached the outskirts of the woods, our breaths ragged and our bodies trembling, we looked back one last time. The forest stood silent, as if it had never stirred. But the memory of that night, of the fear that gripped us, would forever haunt our dreams. That night in the forest taught us a valuable lesson, that sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that come to life. The unknown can lurk in the most familiar of places, ready to awaken our deepest fears. And from that day forward, the thought of camping in the woods would forever fill us with a sense of worried anticipation, unsure of what horrors may lie in wait. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an eerie glow on the dense forest, our hearts began to race with a mix of excitement and trepidation. We had embarked on a camping trip, seeking an adventure that would make our blood run cold, but little did we know that our desire for fear would soon become a haunting reality. Our campsite was nestled deep within the heart of a sprawling wilderness, far from any signs of civilization. The surrounding darkness seemed to grow thicker as the night wore on, amplifying every rustle and creak in the underbrush. We huddled together, each glance exchanged filled with unease. It was during a midnight hike, guided only by the feeble light of our flickering lanterns, that we first encountered the inexplicable. As we trekked through the forest, whispers of a chilling breeze pierced the silence, causing our skin to prickle with dread. Shadows danced ominously among the trees, playing tricks on our senses. Suddenly, a bone-chilling howl echoed through the night, freezing us in our tracks. The hair on the back of our necks stood on end, as we strained our ears to discern the source of this unearthly sound. It was then that we noticed a pair of glowing eyes fixed upon us from the darkness. Panic gripped our hearts as we realized we were not alone. We retreated to our campsite, our once confident strides replaced by nervous glances over our shoulders. The atmosphere had shifted, morphing into an oppressive force that seemed to suffocate us in its malevolence. The fire crackled weakly, unable to ward off the encroaching sense of foreboding. As the night wore on, the forest came alive with an array of inexplicable sounds. Branches snapped violently, as if under the weight of some unseen presence. Whispers, indiscernible and haunting, seemed to seep through the very fabric of our tent. Each noise, each fleeting glimpse of movement, sent shivers down our spines. Our fears culminated in a chilling encounter that would forever be etched in our minds. A figure emerged from the shadows, its twisted form contorted in a grotesque manner. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly intensity, its chilling gaze penetrating the depths of our souls. We were frozen, unable to escape the clutches of this nightmarish apparition. With a single, haunting howl, the entity vanished into thin air, leaving us trembling in the wake of its presence. The once vibrant wilderness now felt tainted, its beauty replaced by an impenetrable aura of terror. We packed up our belongings, desperate to escape the clutches of this haunted realm. As we retreated from the darkness, our hearts heavy with trepidation, we couldn't help but wonder if our desire for a real scary camping story had gone too far. The experience had left an indelible mark on our psyches, a constant reminder of the unknown horrors that lurk in the depths of the wilderness. In the end, it is a cautionary tale, a reminder that sometimes our quest for fear can lead us down a path we never intended to tread. The memory of that fateful camping trip will forever serve as a chilling reminder that in the face of true terror, our worries can become a reality beyond our wildest nightmares. My friends and I went camping and saw a strange glow on the dense forest. My friends and I gathered around the campfire. Excited whispers filled the air as we exchanged tales of haunted woods and ghostly encounters. Little did we know that our camping trip would soon turn into a chilling nightmare. We have chosen a secluded spot deep in the heart of the forest, far from civilization. The tranquility of the surroundings initially brought us a sense of calm, but as the night grew darker, an alarming feeling began to creep up our spine. Unable to shake off our growing uneasiness, we huddled together, seeking comfort and reassurance. The howl of a distant lone wolf echoed through the trees, causing the spine to tremble. We tried to convince ourselves that it was just a symphony of nature, but deep down, we knew that something was wrong. Suddenly, the crackling fire seemed to dim, and it cast frightening shadows that danced around us dangerously. An unexplained cold filled the air, making it difficult to catch our breath. Every rustle of leaves and every broken twig made our hearts skip the rhythm, as if invisible eyes were watching our every move. A sudden gust of wind extinguished the campfire, plunging us into total darkness. Panicking in the group, we fumbled for the lamps, desperately trying to ignite them. But when the rays of light finally penetrated the darkness, our worst fears came true. The figures were standing out of reach of the light, the silhouettes of which seemed to blend in with the trees. Their eyes were glowing with an unholy intensity, fixed on us with an alarming hunger. The air grew thick with an unknown, unpleasant smell, and deafening silence enveloped the forest. Frozen with fear, we watched as the figures slowly advanced towards us, their steps deliberate and mournfully precise. Every step sent a chilling echo through the stillness, a reminder of the imminent death that awaits us. We knew then that the escape was useless. Whispers of ancient curses and tormented spirits filled our ears, as if carried by the wind itself. The numbers are approaching, and their threatening presence suffocates us. One by one they surrounded us, their faces twisted in hideous masks of malice. At that moment, time seemed to stand still, since the boundaries between the living and the dead are blurred. Tonight is no longer just a backdrop for scary tales. It has become our reality, a waking nightmare from which we could not escape. When the first rays of dawn finally penetrated the darkness, the characters disappeared, leaving behind no trace of their malice. We were left trembling, our minds haunted by the horrors we witnessed. The once innocent camping trip turned into a realistic horror story, forever engraved in our memory. To this day, the mere thought of camping evokes a feeling of deep discomfort in me. The forest holds secrets that must remain undisturbed, and the darkness harbors horrors that we cannot fully understand. So if you find yourself camping in the heart of a forbidden forest, remember the frightening tale of our meeting, and pray that you never have to experience the real horrors that await.